Hi, hello YouTube. Zeus here, typically speaking. That's a typically speaking, like that fucking makes sense for an introduction. I'm tired of shit, as you can tell by my fucking face. But yeah. I'm streaming practically every day, starting around like 7 p.m. EST, 7:30-ish at the latest, 8 o'clock, going until night session. So if you want to catch the streams live, pull up to the streams live when I'm live. Like I said, almost every single day at like 7 p.m., 8 p.m. EST is when I typically start. Got a good community of folks here, so I'm sure you'll make some new friends. So with that being said, since you clicked on the video now, we're gonna be talking about Hullabaloo and my issues with Hullabaloo. It's not gonna be a very long style video. It's not gonna be a very I guess heavy video. It's gonna this probably is gonna be like more than 10 minutes, no more, maybe at the max 15. But my issue with Hullabaloo is that Hullabaloo is already looking like a very strong hunter, right? He already looks promising, you know? He already looks like he's gonna be like one of the like a very solid hunter to play. He's not gonna be be lacking in any sort of way, really, aside from like cipher pressure. But again, we'll get into that later. Um But before I get into that, I suppose I want to get through Hullabaloo's kit, which is just what he does. So at this point, we're already all familiar with Hullabaloo's kit. We already know what he can do with his balls. You step into a zone, then you get a debuff applied to you, and then when you're in that zone, he can hit you and apply a color to you, which in turn will do damage. If once you get all three colors practically stacked onto you. So in concept, it's not that good because obviously that would mean he has to take 6 hits to get it down, but we need to also then take a look at his stats in which he moves at 5.43 meters per second square. Not I was about to say meters per second square, but that doesn't even make sense. He doesn't even he moves at 5.3 meters per second, along with the fact that he doesn't have an attack recovery when doing damage. So it's like cool, he can just do that. Like that's fun. Yeah, just deal damage without having any kind of attack recovery, no repercussions at all. I'll get onto that smile soon, don't worry. And overall, he's just looking like a very strong chase hunter. And who else did we have as a very strong chase hunter? We had Opera Singer as a very strong chase hunter. And Opera Singer, when she first came out, she absolutely dominated the fucking game, like above all else. Like she was that bitch. She was the one on top. She was the queen of the game. And I want to emphasize this on because, and I'm gonna just reference something real quick, so don't mind the shitty ass transition, right? In a little bit, but I wanted to reference the video that I the not the video, but the spreadsheet that I made about the game being hunter sided. I wanted to reference that actually here. So as we can see right here, we have the spreadsheet that I made for hunters, right? We see the spreadsheet right now, right? So this is dating way back. You'll probably, if you look on my channel, you'll see the video itself where I just blatantly say like, this is why IdentityV is a hunter-sided game. So we see this shit, right? And as we can see, Opera Singer, we see Opera at the top of the picks with 172 picks. She has a 51% ban rate, and she has then a 47% win rate and a 39% draw rate with a 14% loss rate. This is practically how I organized it. Followed up by Ivy with a 39% win rate, 36% draw rate, and a 25% loss rate. So already and this is, by the way, this is pre-Goatman release, I want to add. This is not even considering Goatman because Goatman is better than both of them. And I don't even want to get into Goatman. It's his own fucking thing. But you already have two win hunters already that exist in the game, and then you have Goatman, who's now going to be a third win hunter. And again, as you can tell by the title, this is from Summer IVL, from the Summer IVL that just patched from June to August, practically, or from May to July to then prelims in August. But point being is that this is recent statistic. This isn't old stats. This isn't old news. Hold on, let me just. So yeah. So we already have two win hunters that pre-exist in the game, right? We already have two hunters that win more often than whether they draw or lose. Now, this is obviously not a combined statistic because obviously like they're not winning it more than they're drawing and losing combined. But overall, if you were to put it on a pie chart kind of thing, winning would be the biggest section of the pie chart, you know? So for me, that is what defines them as a win hunter. So we already have two win hunters that exist in the game. The two most pick hunters in the game right now by a large margin. You look at you look at Opera and Ivy, and then the third most picked hunter is Anne, and she's third, but it's still 70 less picks. 70 less picks, along with the fact that these two hunters combined are banned 86% of the time. 86% of the time, these two hunters are banned. So why am I mentioning this? We have two hunters already that dominate the game as it is. We're going to have now a third hunter that's going to enter competitive to dominate the game. When Goatman comes in, you best believe your ass he is going to dominate. Dominate. He is the absolute god of the game right now. He is better than Ivy. He is better than Opera. He is going to destroy. So that's 3 round 1 viable hunters that are insanely good. Now with Hullabaloo. Hullabaloo is not on the level of Goatman. And I say this because I can think of counterplay to Hullabaloo. I don't know counterplay to Goatman. Because blatantly speaking, there just is no counterplay that I can think of for Goatman. So because of that, obviously he's not on Goatman level. However, he is bare minimum an Opera level threat. He is an Opera, like if I had like literally like on some like anime power scaling bullshit, he is Opera level. He is an Opera level hunter. And people might say, oh, well, Opera right now in this meta doesn't perform that good. You know, she's still the worst out of the like 3 S tiers in tournament. That's being an Opera level hunter isn't bad. You're still S tier. You're still good. You are still like, you're still a good hunter if you're an Opera level hunter. That still makes you insane. That makes you have really great win potential as a hunter with very high draw potential. Goatman's counter is just double kiting. Yeah, that's the one thing you don't want to do. That's the thing. I still haven't gone against Goatman, but almost everyone I talk to says he's a draw hunter. They're wrong. I'm just telling you blatantly they're wrong. Like, that's it. They're just wrong. Opera better than Ivy, I think. I disagree with that. I disagree. I think Ivy is better just because Ivy has better endgame potential for winning. Ivy has a bit more room for error because of full presence, unlike Opera. Double kiting and he can't get his hits in. Yeah, double kiting and you don't get your ciphers in. Like, my friend said Anne is worse than Goatman. Yeah. Yeah, Goatman is better. Goatman is 100% better. Yeah, your friend is correct. Goatman is better. And Anne is like, if I wanted to put it on a tier list, it would go Goatman, Ivy, Opera, and then maybe Anne at the bottom of S tier for tournament. But that's just for tournament. I'm not speaking about rank. No, like they hate going against Anne more low. Oh, well. Anyways, to the original to the original point of the video, right? So we already have 3 S tier options, right? Hullabaloo, who is an Opera level threat, and keep in mind, it's not just me saying this, it's the Japanese player base as well, and even the CN player base as well that are saying these things. I'll probably maybe edit in comments that I've gotten from Billy, from people who are making troll comments. Like there was somebody saying, oh, there was somebody that made a troll comment saying oh, Hullabaloo struggles during the detention phase because he kills everyone before the detention phase. Har. You get the joke there. He struggles to get it down during detention because there's nobody to down during detention. So it's I'll probably edit some shit in right there. But the point being is my issue with him is that the game doesn't need another strong hunter. It doesn't. The game doesn't need a strong hunter. We already have 3 strong hunters. We don't need a 4th that's on the same level at bare minimum Opera and maybe even comparable to Ivy. We don't need a hunter like that. And why do we not need a hunter like this? Because the argument is always, oh, survivors have so many options. Survivors have so many options. Just pick Psychologist, Puppeteer, Seer, and Wildling, who by the way gets countered by Hullabaloo, by the way, but we don't talk about that. Just pick them. You pick a wildling, a psych, a seer, and like a whatchamacallit, what else? A puppeteer, and three of those characters get unibanned for the rest of the set. You get three characters that are unibanned for the rest of the set now, just to still potentially lose. Because if you're gonna go all in to counterpick a Hullabaloo, you're gonna then still have to worry about an opera singer who can easily kill a psych in under 60. You have to deal with an Ivy who can just wither out everyone's items on that team except for the wildling. And you need to deal with the god of the game himself, Goatman. And that's not even considering in rank. People have the same argument for rank. Oh, just counterpick the Hullabaloo. And then you have to face an Anne, and then you have to face a Hermit, and then you have to face a Night Watch, and then you have to face an Opera, and then you have to face an Ivy, and then you have to face a Goatman. And even with two of the bans, assuming this is at champion tier where you can ban Goatman and Ivy, or Goatman and Opera, Opera, Ivy, Hullabaloo, Opera, blah, 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 you still have two of the other options to still pick and just completely counterpick the entire team. Because what people don't understand about Hunter what people don't understand about Hunter is it only takes one survivor to be a weak link for the Hunter to snowball. It does not matter if the three of the four are counterpicks. If there is one character that is weak to the Hunter that is being played, the Hunter will immediately take their ass to go chase that weak survivor and then snowball off of them doing such a short kite to farm up and build their own presence. So that way then, when mid to late game comes, they don't need to worry about trying to struggle to get full presence, because they probably are already at full presence, because already two rescues have happened, which means assuming you don't hit the chair like a bot, or you don't give the the rescuer a free rescue like a bot, you get 2 hits per rescue. One to down the person who was just on chair, and one to hit the rescuer after your already initial 2 hits to down the survivor, assuming that it's a 2-hit survivor, not a 3-hit. Point being is that by second rescue, the Hunter will be at full presence, and then it won't matter what items you have, because they'll just simply outperform whatever items you do have if you could counteract them. So that's my main issue with Hullabaloo right now. It's not that like I think he's the god of the game and that he's gonna break the fucking game. I don't, because I can think of counterplay to him. It's just the fact that he's not a healthy release for the game. Like when you look at the stats, and again, this is without Goatman, you can already see the two queens of the game winning more than drawing and losing, along with the average number of survivors that they get dead per match. They're averaging at least a draw minimum. Like, it's not like this isn't like releasing Hullabaloo, a hunter that is bare minimum like Opera, because in my opinion Opera is the worst out of the S tiers, unless you include Anne in S tier for a tournament, in which if you do that, sure, me personally I'd put her maybe at high A+ at the best. I think S tier for Anne would be pushing it, but again, different discussion. But I just don't see like what's the point of releasing another strong hunter when survivors don't have anything right now, especially with how many survivors can be banned. You pick Puppeteer, Psych, and Wildling, guess what? Round 1, those 3, they're gone. You can never pick them again, and guess what? When round 2 comes in, you have to deal with an Ivy, you got to deal with an Opera, or you got to deal with a Hullabaloo. Or if you don't ban Goatman, you got to deal with a Goatman, one of the two. And it just keeps on going, just like that. Every round, 7 survivors are banned. Like, straight up, every round that passes, an additional 7 survivors are banned. Meanwhile, hunters only have 2 bans 3 bans until at round 4, and then it just stays like that. But that's round 4 when most sets are best of 3. Hunter meta is about to be stale. Yeah, that's why that's why I've been so adamant, like, please God, I don't need another hunter. The hunters do not need another option already. They are this is the most hunter sided the game has been, with the abundance of options that hunter has, both in ranked and in tournament. I don't want to hear shit about how, oh, but I can't win as Ripper. You're playing Ripper. You're playing a character who came out when the best survivor at the time was Perfumer. Like, yeah, you're not gonna do good with Ripper because the man is 6 years old. Same thing with shit like you're trying to play shit like Wu Chang or something, who came out when fucking Mind's Eye was considered a threat because of how little survivors there were. You know? When Clown was considered one of the top tiers of the game. Like, yeah, of course you're gonna struggle because you're playing those weak characters. Like it's called meta for a reason. Like most efficient tactic available. So if you use the most efficient tactic available against the opposing faction's most efficient tactic available, when you look at the disparity on which one is going to perform better than the other, it's going to be a hunter-sided game. If anyone that just doesn't believe that, I just don't know what to tell you. Why is Feaster S tier? Because Feaster was S tier back in the day. That's what meta means. Yeah, most efficient tactic available. But it's the same with survivors. Old survivors are weak. If you play strong with survivors, you're likely to perform decent. Yeah, but then those survivors get banned, and a lot of the survivors that get picked are countered. Priestess gets countered by Nightwatch, Opera Singer, Goatman. What else? Mercenary is practically neutered. Like he's not like he's chaseable now. You can chase him as a Goatman. You can chase him as an Opera. You can even chase him as a Nightwatch. Like, Mercenary isn't invincible. Forward fell off the face of the fucking earth. These characters that were used so much back in the day have fallen off, and people don't like to believe it. They're still good, but they have fallen off just because of the hunter environment that has been created. And that is just a reality. And if we are gonna compare, you know, the quality of characters that have grown out in 2024, the characters that have come out go as the following: Puppeteer, Ivy, Fire Investigator, Pharaoh Lady, Goatman, and now Hullabaloo. Do you really mean to tell me that you are going to be able to compare quality of Puppeteer, Fire Investigator, and Pharaoh Lady to Ivy, Goatman, and now Hullabaloo? Are you sincerely going to tell me that you can compare the quality of those characters? Oh, and I completely forgot about fucking Knight. That's how irrelevant he is to me. That's how irrelevant Knight is to me. No. Merc bodies Nightwatch unless it's full presence. I mean, it's an elbow pad per win. Like, it's not the hardest thing. Like, but to your point, I can see it, yeah. Yeah. So it's like, so it's like, can you really tell me, like, sincerely, that the quality of survivors that came out is equivalent to the quality of hunters that came out? Because every hunter that's come out so far has been S tier. Mech's buffs made her so much better. Oh no, I agree with that. Mech's buff made her 100% better, but she still is just a glorified lucky guy. Like, that's about it. She's still a glorified lucky guy. And that's kind of where she falls into right now. So it's like that when I say the game is hunter sided, I'm not talking out of my ass. Like, I'm not talking out of my ass here. Like, I'm saying it because it is just truth. The only thing about Fiona that is the only annoying thing about Fiona is the global portal. Yeah, that's it. But you know what you do to get around that? You just chase the priestess because you have hunters that can chase priestess. Puppeteer is very, very strong if you play him well enough. I mean, sure, that's like the only character though, I guess. But even then, he's still a niche because you can just swing and miss like you do a professor. Like, it isn't like, it's still 8 seconds to buy time, which is still something, but it's still not as good. Like, again, with how effortless a lot of these hunters are in this metagame, is Puppeteer really like on that level to compare with how much like practice and discipline he needs to play versus something like Ivy, who full presence spams you every 43 seconds. Goatman, who just says you can't transition now. Or now Hullabaloo, who just says I'm just gonna hit you for free, and when I give you damage, I'm still gonna be able to hit you right after. Yeah, it's like Puppeteer is good. I'm not denying that, but again, like, how much effort does one thing has to do compared to the every hunter that has released? Does Hullabaloo mean tank meta is back? Tank meta has been back for a while now. It's just a matter of when the tanks are gone, because every single one of these hunters get countered by tank hunter survivors. Then what? I wouldn't say Ivy's easy to play. I mean, obviously Ivy's not easy to play, but I'm saying her full presence is brain dead. Leech, teleport, scare, and full presence, and that's a free hit every 43 seconds. It literally takes no, like, there's no working parts in your head that need to be used in order to do that. It's like no, and it's like people say, "Oh, but all of these hunters have similar pool. All of these hunters have similar pools." That's what's bad. It's not good that all of these hunters have similar counters because you're gonna play into counter comp all of them in one round to still have to deal with them for another three, which is again why the issue, which is where the issue is revolving. On top of the fact that hunters just have significantly more bans, like 7 times the amount of bans. Uh, it's insane to me. So no, like genuinely speaking, like Hullabaloo is not going to be a good release for the game. I never like I don't want him to be good, blatantly. Like he's not the worst. And I really want to like also specify, being a niche does not mean you are usable. I want everyone to like please understand that. You can say, "Oh, well, this character fits this niche." Being a niche does not make you usable. It just means you fit a situation. You could argue that Mind's Eye is viable because of Hospital. Is Mind's Eye viable now because she can be used on Hospital? No, it's just a niche alternative because that's all you have. Like, it's insane to me. Would you argue Norton's usable even though he's niche to Nightwatch, Ivy, and no? Norton is usable. He is a usable character, bottom line. Like, he has a decent kit that can go against all the hunters. He's just slowly falling into the niche because he keeps on getting nerfed, on justifiably speaking. I know you're a survivor main, but why not also embrace this new phase and play more as Hunter? Because I guess for me, if I wanted to play Hunter, I would want to do Hunter at a Koa level, and I never thought I was good enough to do Hunter at a Koa level, even when I was a Hunter main. So that's just my mentality, point blank speaking. But regardless, yeah, Hullabaloo is not going to be a good release for the game at all. At like in the slightest. That's my main issue with him. He's just going to keep tilting the game even more when survivors have nothing and hunters have everything right now. And I promise you, for people who are going to watch this on YouTube, I challenge you, please tell me in the comment section why the game is survivor sided. If you genuinely believe the game is survivor sided, please tell me. Like, and I want you to refute the points that I brought up in your argument. Please tell me why the game is hunter side, is survivor sided. We want the Naiad cosplay. Thanks for the $2. Persuadable. All right, you're gonna get it, bro. You're gonna get the fucking Naiad cosplay. Anyways, that's gonna be it for that's gonna be it for the video. For those that watch on YouTube, again, I'm live practically almost every day, at least 5 times a week around 7 p.m. EST. Come check out the streams. Always here, talking, doing some shit. And as you can see, you can make some new friends here with my community. So don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Peace out.